I mean, eventually Canada and Mexico should realistically become our country. And if they can't maintain their own budget and their own sovereignty without our help, then hell yeah, let's bring them on. And it's win-win for Canadians because finally they'll be able to say they live in a country that won a Stanley Cup. You remember Donald Trump put out a message on Truth Social warning the countries of Mexico and Canada that on day one he was going to institute a 25% tariff on those nations if they didn't secure the border, stop the migrant crisis, and get a hold of the fentanyl that keeps pouring across both of those borders. Now, you remember the heads started exploding. Oh, that's going to cause inflation, which, by the way, tariffs don't cause inflation. And taxes don't cause inflation either. See, inflation happens when you weaken the value of the dollar by printing more money from the federal government to pay for things that, well, we don't have money to pay for. That causes inflation. I just wanted to clear that up. If people always say that, they're wrong. If tariffs may increase the cost of goods and services, that's true, but it's not inflation. It's very tangible what caused the increase in those goods and services. And as soon as you remove the tariffs, the costs go back down. That's not inflation. All right, glad we cleared that up. But everyone was screaming, oh, it's crazy, it's crazy, it's crazy, he's doing that. But then what happened? Within days, Donald Trump had a phone call with the president of Mexico, and she said, yeah, listen, we're going to stop the migrant crisis. We're going to stop this caravan in its tracks. And I'd love to work with you on fentanyl. It's a complicated issue, but we're going to get to it. But he got results immediately. And then our neighbors to the north, well, Justin Trudeau, the prime minister of Canada, actually made a pilgrimage to Mar-a-Lago to kiss Trump's ring, let's say. There was an amazing picture of him sitting at the table there over the Thanksgiving weekend in Mar-a-Lago with Donald Trump. Love to hear what that conversation was like, right? Well, thanks to Peter Doocy and some of his sources at Mar-a-Lago, we have a smidgen of an idea, at least how a portion of that conversation went. Take a listen.
And tonight we're getting some new details about that Trump-Trudeau dinner from two people who were at the table. We are told that when Trudeau told President-elect Trump that new tariffs would kill the Canadian economy, Trump joked to him that if Canada can't survive without ripping off the U.S. to the tune of $100 billion a year, then maybe Canada should become the 51st state and Trudeau could become its governor. Right.
Of more on that detail with the panel. Peter, thank you.
Hold on. Now, this is great. I love this. And I love Peter Doocy. I stand behind no man in my brotherly, affectionate, non-romantic love for Peter Doocy. And he's usually got great sources and great reporting. But I got to take issue with portion of this. Let's watch it together, shall we?
Trudeau told President-elect Trump that new tariffs would kill the Canadian economy. Trump joked to him that if Canada can't survive without ripping off the U.S. to the tune of $100 billion a year, then maybe Canada should become the 51st state.
Okay, did you catch it there? And again, I hate doing this because I don't know Peter Doocy's sources here, but there's a misreporting in here, I think. Here it is again, real fast.
That new tariffs would kill the Canadian economy. Trump joked to him.
There it is right there. How do you know it's a joke? What do you mean joked? I would like to think that Donald Trump was dead serious when he threatened Trudeau and said, well, you know, you can't make it without ripping us off for all this money. Maybe you don't have any business being a country of your own. Maybe it's time to finally pursue America's manifest destiny and expand. Now, I take issue with the idea of Canada being the 51st state because that's a very big territory with a lot of people, kind of hard to manage. Maybe we should respect the provincial boundaries and break it into 7, 8 states. I don't know. Yukon could be wrapped into Alaska. Either way, why do we think this was a joke? Just hear me out for a minute. Isn't it weird if you think about it that we expanded our nation and incorporated territories and got new states, including Alaska, not even part of the contiguous 48, and Hawaii all the way out there in the middle of the South Pacific. And then in 1959, we just stopped. Almost 70 years ago, we just stopped. We just said, okay, we're done. We've had enough. No more states. Why? It doesn't make any sense, right? I mean, either we have manifest destiny or we don't have manifest destiny. Now, I always thought that we would start with Baja California and stretch down from Ensenada all the way down to Cabo San Lucas. I mean, have you ever been to Cabo San Lucas? It's mostly Los Angeles anyway. That's where most of the people are there from Southern California. I mean, it just makes sense to extend California down into Baja. That would solve the border crisis there, by the way, in San Diego too, because, great way to solve the border crisis, just, no more border, incorporate all the land and make it part of America. That makes sense. I mean, eventually Canada and Mexico should realistically become our country. And if they can't maintain their own budget and their own sovereignty without our help, then hell yeah, let's bring them on. And it's win-win for Canadians because finally they'll be able to say they live in a country that won a Stanley Cup. Think about it. Las Vegas, a city in the middle of the desert, has won more Stanley Cups in the last 30 years than any city in Canada. It's pretty pathetic to be a Canadian right now. And you know what? The most pathetic thing about being a Canadian, honestly, think about this. You're Pierre Trudeau. You're the prime minister of this country. I guess you're respected in some corners of the planet. People like this guy. Lefty, socialist, Marxist places in Western Europe and other areas of the country, they think Justin Trudeau's great. There's lefties here in America who think he's just a dreamboat. And boy, it'd be great if he were our president. Why can't we have a president like Justin Trudeau? I hear from liberals all the time. So you're Justin Trudeau. You're at the pinnacle of politics in your country of Canada. And you have to go down hat in hand to make the case against your southern neighbor, the United States of America, and the incoming president, Donald Trump, somebody who you have openly criticized and chastised and mocked and ridiculed and created a huge rift with over the course of the last 8 years. Now you're humbled. Now you have to go down there with all this humility and try to make nice and say, oh, please don't inflict these tariffs on us. And your entire argument, the entire basis of your argument was what now?
Two people who were at the table. We are told that when Trudeau told President-elect Trump that new tariffs would kill the Canadian economy, Trump...
That's your argument. That's your entire argument that you've got for Donald Trump. Please, Mr. Trump, you can't raise these tariffs. You'll kill our economy. You have to concede that. How pathetic is this? How weak is this? That you have to concede that you are so dependent on the United States of America. And by the way, if you've read The Art of the Deal, and I do suggest you read The Art of the Deal, Justin Trudeau has just completely lost. He's lost. He had whatever position he thought he had with Donald Trump to try to negotiate something, he has just weakened himself, if that is in fact the argument that he made. You can't do that. You'll kill us. Oh, really? Okay, then. Let's have a real conversation. If that's the position I'm in right now, that if I made this decision that I'd kill you like that, I think that you've just conceded that I'm in the power position. If unless Donald Trump didn't already know that, it's now been confirmed. Amazing. What an amazing turn of events. Are you tired of the winning yet? Something tells me that things are going to be resolved with Canada. Something tells me that Prime Minister Trudeau is going to find some sort of détente and peace with Donald Trump, and Donald Trump's going to get what he wants from Justin Trudeau. You'll remember when Donald Trump was last president, and he promised that he would take away NAFTA and negotiate a new trade deal with Mexico and Canada. They did end up doing that. It's called the USMCA, which I know sounds like the Marine Corps, but it's the United States Mexico-Canada Agreement, which I think is kind of funny. It used to be called NAFTA, North American Free Trade Agreement, and it wasn't really free trade. But this one, they reoriented and made sure that the United States was named first, USMCA. That's subtle and done for a reason. But when Donald Trump blew away NAFTA and said this is no longer workable, we're going to get a new agreement, and Mexico said, okay, when do you want to talk? Canada, Justin Trudeau, that same guy, said, hell no, I'm not going to negotiate with you. I'm not going to sit at the table. We're fine with NAFTA. Let's keep things the way they are. And Trump said, okay, well, listen, you don't have to be a part of this deal, Justin. And so he went and had his first meeting with President Obrador of Mexico, and the next thing you know, Justin's like knocking on the door saying, oh, please let me in. And Trump's like, no, we don't need to include Canada. U.S. and Mexico can have our agreement, and then you'll just work things out on your own. But we'll be fine. U.S. and Mexico. And Canada's like, please let us in. And finally, he did let them in. We're seeing it happen all over again. They're like hamsters on one of those wheels. They can't get enough. It's fantastic. I love being on the winning side of this. I'm still on board with the idea of annexing Canada. Trust me, it won't be violent. Most Canadians will come willingly. I mean, they talk like us already for the most part. We'll fix that whole aboot thing or Surrey thing. We'll fix that. Trust me, you'll assimilate. You'll be one of us. But Donald Trump promises that he won't let this happen in Mexico. Remember when he suggested that maybe Greenland would be a good idea? Maybe it'd be time to annex Greenland, and everyone lost their minds. He just had, this is a real tweet, by the way. He literally did this. That's dated August of 2019. And he promised not to build a Trump Tower in Greenland. But I'll be honest with you. I mean, I think it's kind of an improvement. I would love to go to Greenland, and I would love to not have to deal with the exchange rate. What is the currency Greenland uses, by the way? Good stuff. I don't know if you've seen this guy. His name is Sean Farash. He's a social media comedian, and he does an incredible Trump impersonation. And, well, he did his own summary of the meeting between Justin Trudeau and Donald Trump. Enjoy.
Well, I just got done with a beautiful meeting with the Prime Minister of Canada, Justin Trudeau. He sits when he pees. He doesn't want you to know that, but he does it. Everybody knows it. But you look at it, I said, Justin, we're going to slap you so hard with tariffs. He said, sir, please don't talk dirty to me. You know I love being slapped. I said, not like that, Justin. We're going to hit you so hard with tariffs, and you're not going to know what hit you. You have to close your border. You have to help us with our border. He said, we're not going to do it. I said, okay, we're going to cut off your supply of soy. He said, sir, please don't do that. I need my soy. Justin Trudeau is the #1 consumer of soy in the entire world. He consumes more soy than any nation or any man, anybody ever thought possible. He consumes so much soy. I said, Justin, you must take after your mother, because Fidel Castro was definitely not a soy boy. He said, sir, please don't cut off my soy. Please don't hit us with tariffs. It's going to hurt our economy. I said, if that's the case, you could become our 51st state. He said, but sir, what are you going to do with all the moose? I said, I've been handling moose for a very long time, and we're going to change the plural of moose to mooses, by the way. I've been handling mooses for a very long time. Chris Christie, you may have heard of him. Stacey Abrams, Rosie O'Donnell. These are some of the biggest mooses the world has ever seen, and we handled them like nothing. I said, Justin, do we have a deal? No tariffs, no soy if you don't close the border. He said, sir, you've got yourself a deal. And we may very well add Canada, too, at the end of the day. They may become our 51st state if they don't play ball. But for now, we have a deal. And Justin Trudeau returned back to Canada, sat down, took a nice leak, and went to bed. It's the art of the deal at work. We are making America great again, believe me.
I love it. I mean, that's great. It's not only is it great, but it's very funny, and it proves that our late night comedians and Saturday Night Live and all the other people who are in the business of being funny still don't quite get Trump, and more importantly, they don't get their audience. See, you can have fun with Trump. Trump is an incredibly funny and entertaining guy, but you don't always have to be mean-spirited and evil and insulting, not just to Trump, but to us, those who don't hate Trump as much as Jimmy Fallon and Jimmy Kimmel and Stephen Colbert and the whole crew over at Saturday Night Live. You can actually be funny and actually sort of celebrate who Trump is. That Sean Farash guy is very funny. Not only is the impersonation good, but the material is good. A lot of times you get people who do a good impersonation, but their material kind of sucks, but that's great. And honestly, he's got the sir thing down. I got to say, as this transition continues to roll out, and this latest episode with Justin Trudeau and Trump saying, well, maybe you should be our 51st state, which is the greatest troll I've ever heard from a world leader. Can you imagine? I just keep thinking to myself, when we get to January 20th, the next 4 years are going to be amazing. And I'm so glad we're here together to watch it. Hey, if you open an IRA in gold with Birch Gold, you'll get a free silver. Wait, let me rephrase that. You'll get free silver shipped directly to your home. That's right. It's the most wonderful time of the year, right? Silver and gold. And it's the only time of the year that Birch Gold gives away a free 1-ounce silver eagle for every $5,000 purchased. And the best part is you don't actually have to pay a penny out of pocket. Yeah, because you convert an existing IRA or 401k into a tax-sheltered IRA in physical gold, And Birch Gold is going to send your free silver coins directly to your home. Now, if you're thinking, I don't need to worry about silver or gold or anything like that, because my God's headed to DC. Things are good. We won the election. No. An administration trying to reverse a $36 trillion national debt in just 4 years is like a field mouse trying to stop a freight train. I love that imagery. We have a huge amount to pay on the interest on the debt alone, let alone the principal. So take action now. Text my name, Larry, L-A-R-R-Y, to 989898 before December 18th, and you'll get a free info kit on gold, and you'll claim your eligibility for that free silver on qualifying purchases from Birch Gold. Do this before December 18th, though. Again, text Larry to the number 989898 for peace of mind that lasts longer than just 4 years.